Kimi Antonelli has once again grabbed the spotlight in Formula One news, with fresh reports suggesting his imminent move to Mercedes. It seems that Antonelli has already inked a deal with Mercedes, although the official announcement is set for later this year at Monza. With other contenders like Sainz moving to different teams, it's clear that Antonelli is the chosen one to partner with Russell from 2025 onward. As things stand, Mercedes is gearing up for a duo of Russell and Antonelli next season. However, there's some uncertainty hanging over one of them as we look towards 2026. The big question: can the Italian handle the pressure in his debut year with Mercedes? And what tricks does Mercedes have up its sleeve with the upcoming regulations? What we know for sure is that Antonelli will be joining the Silver Arrows starting in 2025, having signed a multi-year contract. A ceremonial welcome with Hamilton is also expected later this year. To prepare Antonelli for his new role, Mercedes has given him extensive testing time in various F1 cars, with another session scheduled at Monza. Chauvelin and Wolff have emphasized that Antonelli's current focus is mastering tire management and completing full race lengths, using both the W13 and W14 models. Antonelli's undeniable talent made it impossible for Wolff to ignore him. With Verstappen staying put at Red Bull this year, but likely exploring other opportunities by 2026, Wolff had little choice but to nurture Antonelli's potential for the most coveted seat on the grid. Andrew Chauvelin, Mercedes trackside engineer, recently praised Antonelli, acknowledging his tremendous growth over the past period. According to Chauvelin, they aren't overly focused on Antonelli's F2 campaign anymore, even though it's still important to them. The performances they've observed with the W13 and W14 cars have exceeded their expectations, and the team at Brackley is eager to move forward. Chauvelin highlighted Antonelli's recent testings with Mercedes, noting that, despite his young age, Kimi has an impressive track record. He called Antonelli a naturally gifted talent, the kind of rising star everyone is on the lookout for. Chauvelin emphasized that their choice of drivers isn't necessarily influenced by the race location. Mercedes' goal is simple: find the two best drivers and build the best car possible. Focusing on these elements, he believes, will lead to success regardless of the competition's standings. When discussing other options for Mercedes, Chauvelin mentioned Verstappen as a potential candidate. However, Verstappen is unlikely to be available in 2025 or 2026. He might have the chance to leave Red Bull if significant issues arise within the next 10 races or early next year, but that remains his decision to make. Antonelli's future with Mercedes appears promising, with Kimi himself expressing confidence and readiness for new challenges. This marks a change from a few months ago when both he and Toto Wolff aimed to prioritize his performance in F2. Reflecting on his upcoming career steps, Antonelli admitted, "Some degree of worry, I think, is always there. The thought of not being able to perform can be really scary, and I think everyone feels that way. But I prefer to see it as a fantastic chance to learn, grow, and truly enjoy the experience. I'm not worried about being judged either. Mercedes already has a solid opinion about my potential. Sure, this season in Formula 2 didn't start off perfectly, but I haven't let any negative thoughts creep in. I feel pretty relaxed about it all. If I got the chance, I would seize it eagerly and give it my best shot. Lately, there's been some pressure from all the rumors about next year, but I've always tried to find the fun in it. I'm making the most of the opportunities I have right now and savoring them." Many fans might imagine Antonelli moving to Alpine or Williams. However, Williams has already locked in Albon and Sainz for their lineup, shutting the door on Mercedes junior drivers. Alpine, on the other hand, is undergoing a complete internal rebuild. Even though they may use Mercedes engines from 2025, they still make their own driver decisions and are currently dealing with issues from Renault's engine. All this makes it likely that Antonelli could team up with Russell at Mercedes in 2025. What's fascinating is 2026, when Mercedes' driver lineup isn't set in stone. The team's recent strong performances have caught the attention of top drivers like Verstappen, who might be interested in what the Silver Arrows are planning. Verstappen has stated he's dedicated to Red Bull, and their focus is on the next 10 races to keep the championship alive. Yet the team is struggling due to key departures and underwhelming car upgrades. Russell should be wary of 2025 because if Verstappen gets an opportunity, Mercedes will likely go all out to sign the multiple-time world champion. Just like Vettel moved from Red Bull to Ferrari after 4 championships, Verstappen's family is keeping a close eye on the developments across Formula One teams. In the past, Red Bull didn't need to worry because their RB18 and RB19 cars were so powerful. But things are different with the RB20. This car isn't living up to expectations and has lost its balance, according to Marco. Verstappen was confident that Red Bull could close the gap with McLaren in Hungary, but that didn't happen. If Red Bull's performance keeps declining, Mercedes might take this chance to entice Verstappen to join them, something the Dutch driver will consider very carefully. Verstappen talked about his future with Red Bull, saying that he's thankful and loyal to the team. However, he emphasized that decisions about his future should be based on performance, not emotions. This is exactly what Mercedes is aiming for in 2025 and the rest of 2024. Verstappen elaborated, saying it's crucial not to make decisions based on emotions because they can backfire. He stressed that he values loyalty and has a long history with Red Bull, which is mutual between them, while Verstappen remains grounded and isn't letting the current performance issues overshadow his relationship with Red Bull. It's important to note that they started the season strong and haven't had to compete with the rest of the grid like in the last 8 races. Red Bull is now facing a significant risk of losing the Constructors' Championship. They renewed Perez's contract for at least the next 10 races, and after promising Verstappen a new teammate from Zandvoort, they failed to deliver, giving Verstappen another reason to consider Mercedes' offer. This situation puts a lot of pressure on Russell, who needs to push the car to its absolute limits to show he can handle the leadership role left by Hamilton. Antonelli is incredibly talented, even more so than Verstappen was at his age. We've seen how things played out with Ricciardo and Verstappen as teammates at Red Bull, so it wouldn't be shocking if Russell faced a similar challenge. There are even rumors that Russell is in talks with Audi about a future seat if things go south at Mercedes. Given all this, do you think Antonelli could outperform Russell in 2025? And perhaps more crucially, if given the chance, would Mercedes consider replacing Russell with Verstappen if the opportunity arose? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.